Let me share a vulnerable moment about me. I'm an author. My first book is Faith Over Fear: How to Trust God When You're Afraid. And the truth is, I didn't even think I could write a book. It was not in my dreams. But when I started doing this life, I got to a point where my life was I guess I was not in a good place. And I started complaining. And all I could see, because I went through a very dark season, is as I was asking God questions, I was in the middle of going to therapy, nothing was moving. And I'd turned into a complaining machine. Maybe you will not understand, but I was not in a good place. And I remember one time I was praying, and after praying, I don't know if it's God nudging me or whatever, but something told me, why can't you start speaking differently? And honestly, I was not speaking lies. I was speaking things that were happening. I was saying my life is hard, things, things are tough right now. It looks like, the things that you tell you when things are not working. And that is the state I was in. And like I said, there was not that nudge in my heart to start speaking differently. And that verse came to me as a person of faith, that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I was not speaking faith. I was speaking my reality. And my reality was not good. And I started speaking faith blindly. And it was not fun, because it felt weird. I'm like, you can't tell me to say that things are going to be better. And I'm here going round and round and round. But let me tell you something that I've learned. That this journey of faith is not for the wise. It's not for the people who can, read the word and be able to explain the word. Sometimes we just need to be simple people. And if the word says, speak faith, that is all God is requiring of us. And that is what I started doing. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, the change came overnight. It took me a long time. It took me many years. Some days, I had some good days. I would speak the word and I would be strong for a minute, for a week. And then I'll sleep right back. But I want to thank God for His faithfulness and His mercies. Because as I sit here, I can tell you God was able to change my heart. And I've always said that I will not tell parents something that I have not done. I'm telling you something that I have done. And today I want to challenge you to find something that will find something that will steady your walk, something that grounds you. And for me, like I said, it is faith. When things get really tough, I know where to go. And it has not always been like this. And I'm sharing this to you so that you can begin that journey too. That just because the journey is tough, just because the journey is overwhelming, just because sometimes it feels like it is isolating, that you cannot find joy, I'll be the first one to tell you that joy is possible. Contentment is possible. Not because you have that insurance, not because you have that money, but because you have learned to be in that state of contentment, whether you have it or whether you don't have it, because you have surrendered. And so tonight I'm going to ask you a hard thing. And I'm going to ask you to get into that habit of making sure that, whatever is coming out of your mouth is not making things worse, but it is building you. It's helping your journey. There is a way you can speak, you know, and your journey becomes harder. And there is a way you can speak, you know, and you minister to you. So today, start speaking those things that you want to see. Be careful. Choose your words carefully, because words can build and words can break. So beginning today, be careful the words that you speak. Choose what you say into the atmosphere, because your words will become your life. If you want to get my book, it's Faith Over Fear, you know, I can get you a copy. I can ship you a copy. It's on Amazon. And I want you to know that joy is possible. I'll see you in the next one.